Hey guys, welcome back. Here we are at Vinnies in Bateman's Bay. Had some really good wins in this store occasionally. Some things can be a little bit overpriced, but it's a good sized store. So I love to start with the hat, work my way down, having a look at the clutches. Here's some shoes. So these were $35. These were some really nice, very much almost brand new materials. So indoor soccer boots, but yeah, just didn't want to spend $35, and then $40 for these Shimano cycling boots, Witchery for man, and nothing else really there. So go back over and have a look at the second lot of hats. Scored some really good hats here in the past, some beanies for last winter, and then we start looking at all the shirts. So it's just a lot of your regular stuff, you know, Biz Collection, Gazman, Rivers, Kmart, all that sort of stuff. But it's out trying to find those little gems. Pull a couple of things out as I'm looking here just to sort of review them. Here we find the first one that's a keeper, and it's this Adidas Manchester United jersey. So really nice piece, really good nick, but yeah. So just keep looking through. You can see there's so many here. There's Lowe's, there's Kmart, there's JJ's, Cotton On, all that sort of stuff. A nice little Tour de France shirt, but not at the price they're asking for. I spent a bit of time on this one. This is the first, I think, two others I found on the day of this. It's a French brand, and I can't remember the name of it, but essentially the polo shirts were only selling for about $12 used, and that they wanted, I think, $6 there. So for me, it just wasn't worth it. Even if I had have gotten a couple of them and tried to bundle them, it's still not worth it. Little Tui's new polo there. So just flicking my way through and not really getting any luck. There's a Green Edge jersey there. If it was a little bit cheaper, I would have picked it up because I have sold one of those before. I'm now looking in this for anything that's like Wrangler, RM Williams, all that sort of gear, anything vintage as well. Sometimes you can find some cool little vintage shirts in there, but no luck today. So then we move over to the jumpers. This is a really cool piece. There was just nothing in regards to where it was made. If it was made in Australia, I probably would have grabbed it. A couple of little pieces here, some Under Armours, a Nike jacket, and then right at the very end we find this really cool Lilo and Stitch. Disney, $8, tie-dye. It's screaming everything you want it to do. So for $8, I thought, yeah, I can chuck that in. So then we move on to the Salvation Army store here. Here's just the cheap racks out the front. There's a bit of the freebies, some of the things that you can grab. Then having a look in store here. So just seeing what they've got in the case. It's a bit of a smaller store. Again, this is a Salvation Army store. It is stocked by Salvos in Nowra, but it is a Salvation Army store, so they get to set their own prices there. The only problem was today, I don't think I actually found anything at this store. So it's always good to have a look, though. You never know what you're going to see, and it gives you guys an opportunity to see some of these stores as well. So little DVD sections, brick and crack, toys. Nothing there. Their shoes are never exciting. I'm surprised at that. I don't know why, but their shoes just absolutely, there's never anything there. But I have found a couple of good shirts here before. But like I say, today, there's just nothing exciting happening there. There was one Reebok shirt there that said train harder, but it just had nothing else. So we're now at Salvo's at Ulladulla, and straight off the bat we walk straight up here, and here is this Panhandle Slim cowboy cut vintage. I believe it's made in USA, but I don't have the tag right in there, but with the pearl snap and everything else, I was happy to just keep moving. Here's an older style, so this is later 2000s Socceroos supporter shirt, so that's a good one for $4. So all the shirts on this rack are $4. So I know pretty much straight away, if I find something good, I'm going to pick it up. And this was probably one of the best finds of the day. This is a Shimano vintage made in Australia. And if you have a look at this tag here, really cool. It says Australian made for you. It's a very cool shirt. And that went straight into my hand. Here's an Umbro Island jersey. I'm sure you've all seen those Qantas shirts before. They're absolutely everywhere. Little Under Armour shirt. And yeah, then we have a bit look through the tops. I go into the electric section in a minute here. So they've got this room over here that's an electric section. Always like to have a look around for any dead stock, so DVDs, tapes, etc. They do occasionally have them in there. And then back over here, and I noticed the little Carhartt symbol. So these are some 3/4 cargos. Yeah, they are what they are. We'll see what we can do. For $4, I thought it's worth a bit of a gamble. Had a look through the rest of the pants. King G's and other things like that are all here, so nothing at all exciting. But once we're finished here, we then walk into the main store, and as I was finishing up paying here today, I found out they're actually moving. They don't know where to yet, but they are moving. So again, small shoe section. Hats are similar to what was down in Bateman's Bay. And then you've got all the cups here, the bric-a-brac. Have a quick look through the kids section. There is a nice little Socceroos jersey there, but all of the text was scrubbed off the neck, so I couldn't actually read sizing or anything like that. I did pick up this Captain Feathersword to begin with, and then had another look at the tag while I was waiting in line to pay, and realised that it's the same as Dino here, that they're essentially just show bag toys. They're not really worth anything, so yeah, that nice if you're wanting to grab something for yourself, for your kids. Pretty cool. There's a massive big donkey from Shrek 2 there, and then just here is Humphrey B. Bear, nice little vintage Humphrey B. Bear without his hat. So I went and had a bit more of a look. Over the side here, they've got all their books and DVDs, and as you can see, all these shelves are empty because they're starting to pack stuff up, ready to move to wherever their new location's going to be. So they said it is still going to be in Ulladulla, they're just not sure where. This is Vinnies in Ulladulla. Again, this is another store it's okay, but some of the stuff's a bit overpriced and they're just not moving things. I did, while I was here looking today, the manager who looks after the area was down, so she was down because I've met her in Nowra. Again, it's just when everything's done from a central location, I'm sure you guys are aware, it just seems to be like the prices just keep going up and up. I actually heard the manager that I saw today at the store in Nowra telling their, like, I don't know if it was a state manager or something, but telling him about how proud she was of pricing that she'd put on a toy because she'd seen it selling on eBay for $300. So she priced it at $150 and wrote that on it, and I thought to myself, because I'd already checked, it was listed at $300, but it's only selling for about $110. So all good for you, but not likely, love. But that's okay. So this is a new room out the back here. They've moved all the DVDs and books out this area and opened up their rear a little bit, where you'll see we'll go in a minute. So yeah, just had a quick look at that white collar, but there was no money in it. Again, looking for any kind of older style shirts here, and not having any real luck, so we kept moving. Some of the kids, I can sometimes find some stuff in there, and we make our way down. This is the back where all the bric-a-brac is, so I do spot something in here, and that's that little old light meter at the back there, so I'll just grab that. And I did actually find in this store as well an Olympics watch, so another volunteer Olympics watch. So just having a look, they don't have any games around today, any video games. I was a little bit surprised at, because they normally do have quite a few. And I do find quite a few DVDs and video games in this store. So yeah, just making my way around here, looking at the glassware, checking that there's nothing vintage, English, etc. And there's that watch there, so grabbed that as well. We move on to the last one for the day, and this is Uniting Church op shop. It's a fantastic little op shop. Yeah, huge for books. So if you're a bookseller, this is huge for books, and they very often have sales like that, 5 DVDs for $1, and other sales. Shoes, again, for some reason down the coast they don't ever seem to have any good shoes, but it's just the way it is. So having a look at the toys here, the kids section, just checking if there's anything. There are a couple of Converse shoes, just seeing if they were big enough for my fellow, for Noah, but none of them really fitted. So having a look, that's where I find a lot of dead media stock again. Here was a weird pair of pants. I just couldn't figure out where it was from. Had pirates on the side and just couldn't get anything else from it, so I left them there and moved on to the shirts after having a quick flick through the pants here. So again, I do get lucky with some shirts here, and you'll see we do pick up a really cool Sydney Kings shirt there. So long sleeve tee there, that was cool. But again, it's just your usual Anko, etc. And here is a cool little Craig Lowndes 888 Autobahn. So I wasn't going to say no to that. That was really good, Nick. That it was a female shirt. It's one of the things I find interesting is that if it's racing or sporting, it always goes in the men's section. Milwaukee shirt there. Yeah, they always seem to put all the women's sportswear jerseys in the men's section, not realising they're women. So that works out because normally I can grab them pretty cheap because people leave them. They don't want to grab them for themselves. So yeah, grab that and you'll see here's an Illawarra Steelers as well. So bit of a retro throwback. Yeah, so then we jump over the other side. We'll have a quick look-see over there, see if we can find anything. But that's pretty much what we get in this store here. It was a nice little trip. Nice to spend the day out doing this. This is kind of the goal for my days off when I'm not working. So it's good to be able to do this because for me, this probably takes about a 3-hour round trip. I can get back, I can get everything sorted. You'll see here, I do actually pick up one last little hat, and it's a Kelly Racing V8 Supercars team hat. So Pepsi supporter, Pepsi crew, that sort of thing. So yeah, really cool. Hey guys, thanks for coming along with me there. That was a nice little trip I took recently to pick up some gear. So I'm going to take you through what we bought and yeah, just show you some of the highlights. So this is all of it here, guys. We'll start out with some of this stuff over here and then we'll move on to the clothing. This first piece here, this was $15 and this is a vintage Gosson exposure meter or light meter. And they go for around $60 a pop. So I thought for 15 bucks, I'd grab that. You all know how much I love Sydney Olympics, and this is again another one of those volunteer watches. Does need a new battery, but it's got everything we want to see on it, which is our little confirmation there. And yeah, really, really cool. We then picked up these two games at $5 each. They both go for around 20 odd. So Dragon Ball Rising Blast 2 limited edition and Tekken Tag Tournament 2. So really cool. We've got this Pepsi Max Crew for Kelly Racing. Back when they were running the Volvo, so they were the PPG Volvo, and yeah, that's a really nice, cool little hat. Yeah, should fetch about $30 to $40. Sadly, this little fella here, some of you may know him, he's missing his hat. This is Humphrey B. Bear, and he is a vintage 1998 unit, but yeah, like I said, sadly he's missing his hat, so picked him up for a couple bucks, and he should go for around $30 to $40. We then have here a few pieces of clothing. Now I normally don't pick up polo shirts, supporter polo shirts. The reason why I did was two things. Number one, you've got the callback, the Illawarra Steelers, before it was the St George Illawarra Dragons, so there's that as number one, and number two, it was $4. So I thought for the price of $4, or around $3-4, I wasn't going to say no to that. So ISC, everything legit. So that's a nice little piece there. The other thing I also don't try and pick up very often is NBL gear. You'll see this all the time in your op shops. It says NBL, doesn't have any team gear, etc. on it, and it's just crappy, cheap Kmart stuff. So don't buy it. They always overprice it. They think, oh, it's sporting gear, we'll put it up really high. But the reason why I bought this is because it is a Mitchell and Ness. So that really then improves the quality, improves the value of it, and it is a long sleeve supporter shirt. So it's a pretty cool little shirt. I don't see a lot of NBL gear that is branded like that, so I was very happy to pick that up. We then have the Manchester United, Adidas, everything's legit that we need to see. So this is gone for, I bought for $8 and it'll go for about 50. We then have the ladies Craig Lowndes Autobahn 888 Lounge Racing shirt here. I'm going to have to figure out when this was from because I don't remember when he had Autobahn on board. If that was like coming back to the Holden Racing team. But it's got Red Bull, so maybe it's just a shirt from Autobahn specifically. So I'll have a bit of a look into that and figure that out.
We then have the nice Australian Football Federation shirt here / jersey. Bit of an older one, but nice embroidered logo, and for $4, you know, it's an easy $30. Now this is super cool, guys. This is so rad. I was a bit shocked when I found this one, but this is a vintage Aussie-made, Australian-made for you, medium-sized Shimano fishing shirt. So that is a cracker, and I reckon that's going to go for somewhere around the $70 to $80 mark. We then have a nice little Ireland jersey here. I did pick up in our Highland run, Greg and I did the other week, I did pick up a kids Irish jersey. So this is pretty cool to find this. This is Umbro, or Umbro. It's all legit, really nice. You'll see down there. So yeah, really cool to find that as well. I then have two pieces here. I'm not 100% sure because the tags are a little bit faded, but I'm definitely certain that they are vintage. I think this one is Australian made, just Panhandle Slim. I'm gonna have to look up that brand, but it's a cool pearl snap Western cowboy cut style shirt with like green and silver reflective striping there. So that was really cool. And then we've got this brown one here as well, also pearl snap, cowboy cut, you'll see there, the whole kit and caboodle. And again, Western wear, Sears, so that means it's definitely US for Sears, but the tag doesn't have anything, so it's definitely vintage. I just have to try and figure out if I can see if it's American, sorry, made in USA or not, but still a very, very cool shirt. One thing to not miss out on, guys, is tool wear. You would have seen I've sold a DeWalt hat, other bits and pieces. So anything tool related is normally pretty good if you can get it cheap. And Milwaukee is a super hot brand at the moment in tool wear. It's very, very well regarded. So keep an eye out for stuff like that. Anything that's tool wear, you know, Makita, all that sort of stuff, always good to grab, especially if it's nice and cheap. And this one was. And then the last piece we have is this cool fella here. So tie-dye styled, stitch there, and $8 on the Disney tag. I'm just trying to get it out there. On the Disney tag. So yeah, just really cool little jumper. I'm super happy about it. Cost me $8. I should be able to get 40, 50, especially seeing as we're going into winter shortly and it's getting a bit colder at the moment. It's raining outside there, so it's definitely bucketing down a bit outside today. But yeah, that's what we got, guys. Thank you very much for watching. We are still in the midst of February, so make sure you check our older videos at the start of this month and hit them up because we have a couple of giveaways. Otherwise, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great week, and as we always say, just keep flipping.